Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Before we proceed further, let us wait for a couple more minutes so that everyone can join in and get well settled. So, by the time people do that, I would love to know if you are able to hear me properly, if you are able to interact properly, and I would love to make it as interactive session as possible. So, start messaging in the chat box and let me know if it's going on really well and you are cool and you can hear us properly. If you can hear us properly, please message yes in the comment box and let me know. Oh, great. So you can hear me. So while we're waiting for others to join in, I would love to know what are the problems that you are facing while taking classes online. And we would love to hear what are your views on having a community online for teachers as well. So start spamming the chat box again and tell us about your views on that. Okay, waiting for some responses. Okay, for people who missed out on the question initially, I would love to know what are your views on having an online community for teachers and also what are the problems that you are facing online. Okay, Miss Jyoti says all students are not coming for classes. Miss Padam says all mute is not working during class. Miss Ekta says wanted to know overall conduction. Mr. Amitabh says making the lesson interesting so the little ones can pay more attention. CCS Educare says videos are not able to share through Google Meet. Is there any solution to it? Yes, there is definitely a solution to it, but we won't be talking about it in this session. We'll get back to you on DM. You could always get back to us on our Facebook page. The link of the same is there in the description, and we could get that solution. For Google Meet, we'll be having a different seminar altogether really soon, so stay tuned. Miss Lata says, great idea to form teachers community. It will help all teachers to learn from each other. Well, that's the basic idea of it, Miss Lata. Thank you for supporting our initiative. Okay. Miss Dechamma says, problem with homework correction. Yeah, that is a major issue that all the teachers right now are facing, including me. And we will have a session dedicated to that as well. So please stay tuned for that. I like a whiteboard, is what Miss Vandana says. Again, Miss Jyoti Rana says how to check attendance after the class. Uh, okay. Okay, I love the responses that I have been getting, and we will definitely address to all of these issues. We'll make sure that we have a solution to all these issues and we make your online teaching experience better. With that said, I think it's about time we start this seminar on Google Classroom and come back to you all asking your issues on Facebook so that we can curate the next session in the best possible manner. So, yeah, let's get started. So, good evening again, people. My name is Pranchu Chokhani, and I genuinely hope that all of you are in the best of your health. It's indeed a pleasure for me to host this session for you all. I have been a part of the Octo Learning community for a while now, and all of us here at Octo have some way or the other realized that virtual is the new normal and accepted it, and in a way, however, the sense of disconnect with technology is always at our minds backstage. By the same token, we, as a team, envision to initiate a series of sessions and an online community platform for teachers where we would be sharing tips and tricks related to different free applications so that you find effective pathways in your everyday online training and process and make your process even more smoother and carefree. The link to our Facebook page and group is in the description given below. Now, I would love to take 2 minutes pause and give you the time to scroll through it and use the link to join our Facebook community to keep getting updates on the further seminars and also keep getting the tips and tricks we share on our group exclusively for the teachers for them to have a better teaching experience. Let's do that and then we can get started with the seminar as well. Okay, so hopefully all of you are done with the same by now. And let's get started with the seminar on Google Classroom already. So, before getting into the details, I would love to brief you all about the topics that we will be covering in this seminar. That all has to do with how do we create a class, how do we add students in a class, different ways of adding different students and teachers to a classroom, how to create interactive assignments, have group discussions, marked assignments, and others on Google Classroom, how to make announcements, and then we would go forward to see the student side of it as well because we need to be aware of both the sides of the same so that we can go about understanding the problems of the student and help them out better as well. So, to start with, how we are to start with how we go about it is we click on the plus icon and we go on to create a class. Once we click on the create class option, there is a dialog box that pops up and we need to click on I have read and understood the above notice and then click on continue. Once we are done with it, we need to give our classroom a name. So I would give my classroom a name, batch of class 10th. I will give the section as A and subject as English literature. Okay, with that said, A room is not a necessary entry to do in, but just in case you have a lot more students and you want to create a couple of rooms for the same batch, we can go about having that as well. I don't want to have a room as of now, so we'll be ignoring the room aspect right now and then click on create. Once we click on create, it might take a couple of minutes before the classroom is created, and once it is, we'll be able to see a card on our screen. Let's wait till it loads. Okay, now my classroom is created and you can see the how it looks for a teacher. Now there are four main tabs that a teacher can scroll on to. The first one being stream, the second being classwork, the third being people, marks and settings. So the stream tab is something that we generally use to create or schedule announcements and respond to the posts that the students have done. Classwork is something where we create assignments, quizzes, and modules for students to scroll through, attend to, and then we go about assigning them other things. We can also create topics to make sure our classroom is well arranged and easier for the students to access. The People tab is mostly for adding other teachers and students to the classroom, and then the Marks tab. This is the tab that we won't be talking in great detail in this session, considering it's a part of the next session that we are going to host real soon. And then there is the Settings tab as well. So, to start with, the People's tab. Now that we have created a classroom, we need to know how do we add students to the class. So, how we'll go about doing it is there are a couple of ways. One, we can click on the plus icon and we can see an invitation link for the classroom. We can copy this link and share this with them, and all they'll have to do is to click on the link and they'll be able to join the classroom. If you're not comfortable with that and if you want to add your students manually, we could add the students by typing in their mail ID as well. So your mail IDs here and you will get a list of search results. You select your students' mail IDs and you click on invite. They get an invitation over their mail from where they can join the classroom as well. But my personal favorite is to use the classroom code. So all you need to do is share this code with your students and or display this in the classroom, and they simply have to go and enter this to join the classroom. To show how it would work for students, let's go check out how it works for them. So here is another classroom profile that I made as a student. All I need to do is come, click on the plus icon here, and then go about clicking on join class. Once we have done that, we paste the classroom code that we got from our teachers from this class and then click on join. Once we do that, it takes a bit of time and we are a part of the classroom. So it's as simple as that. I don't know, might be some error here. I did something wrong and that's why I'm not able to join in. But never mind, that's how it works. I'll add myself using the email ID. Okay, here is my email ID. I added it and I sent it an invite. And that's all. Now, since it's a professional account for me, I can't do it right now, but that's how it generally works. Once we have done that, let's go to the classwork tab. Once we go to the classwork tab, we can see that we can do a plethora of things out here as well, like creating assignments and questions, use topics to organize classwork and modules or units, and order work the way you want the students to see it. So let's start with how to create an assignment, a basic assignment for your students. So create an assignment. Once we have done that, this is the screen that we can see. Now let's see, I'll keep the title of the assignment that I am about to give my students as report writing. And once we have done that, let's give them a few instructions. The length of the report has to be at least 500 words. And once we have done that, it's done. This is the I can also add some Google Drive document, some link of a particular website, a Word file, or any other file, or a YouTube video URL that we want the students to refer to before they actually go about doing the entire assignment. We could also mention go through the attachment to make sure you know how to go about the same. Okay, I forgot to give a space here and I did a typo here. Okay, so that's ready, the title of my report and the instructions that I wanted to give my students. Now here I can select the classrooms to which I want to assign the homework. Now we select the batch of class 10 like I selected, and this is the tab where you can select the students whom you want to give the assignments to. So you can have different batches of students you want to give different assignments to or different topics to. So generally the option selected here by default is all students, but you can go about selecting some of them or just a few of them and send the homework to judge them. Now the points, you can change the number of points you assign to the particular assignment, be like 10, 100, 1100, or anything. I'll keep it unmarked for now. Then we can go about giving them a due date as well. So I would like to keep a due date for today itself, and the time to be, let's say, 5:15. So yeah, and we can create a topic under which we want to assign the particular homework. So I'll name my topic as report. Also, there is this really fancy new rubric tab that Google has provided us with, whereby we can create rubrics for our students. And how it actually works is you can create titles here like introduction, the basic ideas of the entire report. I want them to give a basic idea of the entire report to me in the introduction itself. And if they do it properly, I'm ready to give them 5 marks. And that's all. You can go about adding more details to make it more user friendly for your students to understand it better. So yeah, as of now, since I made my assignment unmarked, I'm not going to assign the rubric to them, but you could definitely play around this and use this feature of Google as well. Now I'm going to assign the homework to my students, and we'll wait and see, it's done. Now we have a report writing assignment for my batch of class 10th under the topic report. Now we can do one more thing where we can create just a topic as well. So we have a topic called report. Now I would love to make a topic called essay as well. So I'll make a topic called essay and add it. Now I have another topic called essay, but I don't really have anything under the topic essay right now. So I'll go create another assignment, and again essay writing, write an essay on the effectiveness of Google Classroom, and I'll use all the default settings. I'll change the due date to tomorrow and the time for 11:59 p.m. and I won't assign a topic to it right now, and I'll assign the homework. So see how it looks once you do not assign a topic to it. So see, there is another assignment that has popped up in my screen, but it's not under any other topic. To make it well organized, we can simply drag it and drop it under the essay tab to make it look more organized for my students, and they are easily able to see it. Now, something else that Google has done for us is has linked the Google Calendar and Google Drive to my folder as well. So all I need to do is click on the Google Calendar and the Google Calendar tab opens. We'll wait for it to open, and yeah, mm, okay, it's taking a bit of time. Okay, see. So we can see the assignment that was due today to be added to the Google Classroom seminar, and there is this another assignment that I created for tomorrow, and we can see that tomorrow as well. See, I gave the deadline as 11th, and here is the assignment that I made. I had a couple more assignments made, and that's why you can see the other things as well. But yeah, the basic thing, 11:59th, 11th October, assignment essay writing, so they can go about seeing it there as well. Okay. Now, once we are done with that, there is this another really good thing that Google has provided us with is class drive folder. So every time you create a new classroom in your Google Classroom, Google automatically creates a folder for that particular classroom in your drive. So once you click out here, click on the Google Class Drive folder here, you can see all the submissions that your students might have done to the assignments that you have given out to them in your drive directly. So you won't have to go about looking where the assignments are and searching for it day in and day out. So yeah, that's how it actually works. Other than that, if you want to see how many students have actually handed in or assigned you have assigned the homework to, you can see that here too. So the assigned homework right now is 0 because I haven't shared it with any of my students right now. But once you share it with your students, like a class of maybe 100 students, the assigned will be 100, and as soon as someone hands in the homework, this number keeps on changing. And this is something that is visible to the teachers alone and not to the students at all. So yeah, that was the basic functionality of the homework of the classwork tab. Now there is this one really good function that Google has given us, that's creating a question. Now, how is the question different from the assignments that we have given to the students? Now, the assignments is something that the students have to turn in, and no other students can interact or view the assignments of other students. But in this case, students can interact with each other and have active discussions on relevant topics, and we can have an interaction, a really interactive group discussion on a virtual platform without even getting on a call. So might be I have a question about what are your views on the new NEP launched by the government. Now, this is a question that I want my students to go research on. Research on the given question and have a group discussion on the classroom itself. Okay, now the best thing about this is the students can reply to each other. So once I have typed in my questions or my answers to this particular question that the teacher has posted, I can see the replies of other students as well. And if I feel that it was something beneficial to me, or I want to add something to their answer, or I contradict their points, I can go about engaging with their posts as well and do how it like. So yeah, I have assigned a question to them as well. Now, that's not under a particular topic, and I don't really think I need a topic for this, so I won't assign it as well. So, yeah, that's how the functioning of the classwork tab works. Now, let's go to the stream tab of it. Now, you can see the best thing about stream is I can actually see what are the things that is due for my students to submit as of now and what is the work in progress. So, I did not assign a due date for the question or the group discussion that I initiated. So you can see it here, like there is no due date for this, and there is 0 assigned, 0 marked, and 0 handed in. Whereas I made 2 assignments for my students with a due date and it's a work in progress. So you can go about seeing the 2 assigned, the 0 assigns and stuff as well. Now, once we have done that, let's get back to our class. Now, suppose I want to have a just make an announcement, not any submission or anything as such. All I want them is to make an announcement like I would have done in general classroom, and I want to have it for them in written. I can simply go about making an announcement for all students of my batch of class 10. I can go about typing submit the report. Okay, no, let's go about mail me the report cards scan copies by the end of the day. And there are two options that I can go about doing it. So I'll show you the first one. Again, I can have any attachment that I want to add into the same thing again, and I can simply go about posting it, and my students will be able to see the announcement that I have done, and they can talk to me over the comment section. They could comment on it and I'll be able to read what they want to say to me about the announcement, or I could even schedule it for later. So might be the report cards are about to go to them tomorrow and you want the scanned copies by tomorrow end of the day, and there's no point if I go about announcing that I want the report cards today by the end of the day, and you want to keep it scheduled and keep it more organized. So again, I could go about posting, uh, mail me the scanned copies of your report cards by the end of the day. And once I have done that, I can go and schedule my post for a particular date. So, like I said, it's going to be tomorrow and it's going to happen. My report cards are going to be released at 9 a.m. and I want to make the announcement right after. So, I'll make schedule the announcement for 10 a.m. tomorrow and schedule. So you can see the last announcement I made was mail me the report card, scan copies by the end of the day. It's there, but this one hasn't gone yet, and it's there as saved announcements that will be posted tomorrow at 10 p.m. or to 10 a.m. automatically. But it's possible, like, might be my school decided that they don't want to give out the report cards tomorrow, or might be it's delayed and now the report cards are going to go out at tomorrow 1 p.m. So this post again at 10 a.m. won't be very relevant, so I can go about deleting it even before it was ever posted. So yeah, I have done that, and yeah, that's done. Now that we are done with it, let's go and toggle the settings of the classroom as well. Now there are quite a few features that you can see in the settings tab of it as well. The first one is manage invitation codes. Settings apply to both invitation links and code. Now it's enabled for me. I can disable or reset them as well. Now it is something that you do to manage how your students are about to enter the classroom and stuff like that. If you want to share the link, again you can copy it from here, or the code as well. If you want to display it to in your classroom, you could present your screen and display it wide and big for your students to view, enter, and join your classroom right in between your classes. It barely takes a couple of minutes. So yeah, other than that, a lot of times students post random things on your post feed or some stuff like that, and your important announcements that you have made might get lost. So you could manage what the students can actually do. So I generally prefer to have students can only comment, so that I can get the students' views on the things that I have announced, but they don't spam or post in my classroom with random things that I don't actually want to see. So my students can actually interact with me, but all the announcements that I have made, they do not get lost at all. So yeah, after that, classroom on stream. So you can manage what the students will actually be seeing on their classrooms once they on their notifications tab once you make an announcement or a classwork or anything as such. So I like to have show condensed notification, because it shows exactly the amount of data information that a student needs to get intrigued. It will simply show that Pranshu has assigned you a homework. That's all. That's good enough for a student to go about and check the details of it. But instead, if we have a strong attachment come detailed notification, that's not something that a lot of students actually like to have, and they don't go about reading it in quite detail. So I don't like that. And hide notifications, again, a lot of students are not that very proactive opening the classes and checking it out. So this one is the perfect balance, and I love to have it that way. The show deleted items. Now ideally what Google Classroom allows is, once you have deleted a thing, only the teachers can go about seeing it. not the students. But if you enable it, the students will also be able to see the things that you have deleted, and that's not something ideally I appreciate, because if I deleted it, it ideally means that I do not want my students to see it anymore. So I choose to keep it off at times. Again, for marking, this is something that we will be covering in the next session. So yeah, I'll save my settings. Again, let's see, I could not add myself as a student to this very classroom the last time. I'll try using some other idea of mine to do that. Okay, let's try this one. I hope this one works. Okay, it didn't. I don't know, might be some issue. Okay, great. So it worked for my mom's ID. Okay, guys, really sorry. I'm using my mom's ID for this, but I hope you get why. Okay, now I'll switch to that ID. Okay, it's logging in. Okay, now we are here. Now I invited it, but to accept the invitation, I'll have to go about my mail, and I don't really want to do that. So again, I'll go click on the join classroom. I'll use the same very QR, same very code for joining in, and I click on join class and join in. Okay, a lot of unnecessary tabs open for me. Okay, see. Now I'm already a part of the classroom that I created here as the teacher. Now here I joined in as a student. So you can see I can't see the grade section of it out here. But I can see the assignments that have been assigned to me. I can't see the saved notification, like the saved announcement, but I can see all the other announcements that have been done. I can add in any comments. Uh, so suppose I comment, ma'am, my parents are out of town. Can I please get a couple more days to do that? And send. Now, once I have sent it, it's taking a bit of time. Now I can go about seeing that once I refresh it. Okay, my net is a bit slow, so please bear with me. Okay, so you can see that Kanchan posted a comment that her parents are out of time and they'll need a couple more days to go about it. So now it's on me if I would want to allow them or not. But yeah, that's the basic idea. Now, if I want to go about checking the classworks that I'm yet to submit, is there are three things that I am yet to submit. So I'll go about working on my report. Now, since it was due at 5:15 and now it's about 5:30 and I haven't submitted it, it's showing missing. But the submission for essay writing was tomorrow and it still shows assigned because I am not past my due date till now, or the due time. That's why it's showing missing here and it's showing assigned here. Now I'll go here and submit my assignment. First, I need to view it. Now I'll go add to create assignment. Now you can see a lot of options coming in out here. Now, if the students have worked on it and uploaded it to the Google Drive, they can upload it from there. If they have generated a link of the Google Drive and they want to share it as a link, they could do that too. Or if they have made a file, something like a Word doc or a PowerPoint presentation, they could do that as well. Now, I would love to share it as a file, generally something that I prefer to do. Now I'll go click on upload and browse files. Once I do that, I'll go to my downloads tab and I'll upload a file named Okay, this is something that I want to upload, and I'll click on open. It's getting uploaded. Once they have done that, it takes a bit of time to load, and then they can click turn in and turn in again. Once done, you can see that they have turned in their homework and it's submitted, but it shows turn in late. And if I go about seeing here in the classwork tab again, and I go about seeing the report writing updates, it has been handed in by just one student. And if I go about checking it in more details, it shows handed in, and I can see handed in late as well. So I know done late, I can see it here as well. I can go about seeing the history as well, at what time did the particular student submit it. So I'll know the exact time or the exact number of minutes how late the student has submitted. And if I want to give them like a 5 minutes extension and consider their assignment, so I can consider it. And if I don't want to, it's fine that ways as well. And I can click on it and go about seeing what the student has submitted as well. So yeah, that's the basic idea. Again, if I want to review the assignment that I have given, I can do that from here too. Okay, now again getting back to my class as a student. Now I've submitted the one that I submitted late. Now let's submit the one that I want to submit on time as well. So again, I can go about viewing the assignment. Similarly, I go here and I can create a new doc completely for adding the homework to you. But the best part here is they can't just submit the homework and keep on editing on it like they do in Google Docs. Once I have created an assignment and if I turn it in, they won't be able to edit the doc at all, because the ownership of the doc goes from the student to you. And that's how it actually works. So once they have submitted the Google Doc to you, they can't make any changes to the Google Doc. If they wish, they can unsubmit it and resubmit it again later. But yeah, they cannot edit it once it's submitted to you. And again, if I submit it later, I won't, like later than the due date, it will show turned in later here again. So yeah, that was it. That was both the students and the teachers side of it. If you have any other doubts, I would love to hear some doubts from your end. If you want me to repeat something or anything as such, please post it on the comment section. I'll be viewing the comment sections now and repeating something if you want me to repeat. So yeah, please start spamming the chat box so that I can help you out better. Okay, if you couldn't hear me the last time, if you have any other doubts, please keep posting. Okay, Miss Neelam wants to know how to correct the assignments. Again, Miss Neelam, how do we go about it? Is marking is an extensive topic, and I don't think so. We have the time to cover it right now. We'll definitely cover it in our next session. Mr. Amitabh wants to know how to create an MCQ. Sure, we could help you out with that. So, how we go about it is again, we go to the classwork tab. We go, okay, I'm in my student section now. Okay, now again, I'm in my teachers tab. I'll go to the classroom. I'll go to classwork and I'll create another assignment, but it will be a quiz assignment that I want to make. And once we have done that, we go about clicking again like MCQ on history, and I can give them any topics. Read chapter 10 and then attend this quiz, and Google automatically creates a blank Google form for me यहाँ पे. But I can, if I have already created a Google form, I can add in something else or get it in the as well यहाँ पे, and then I can click on the Google form and go on adding questions. Once I'm done with it, I can again assign it to my students, and you will be able to see how I can see it in as a student. So MCQ on history. This is the assignment that I created, and there is a Google form as well. It's assigned to one student because I have joined this classroom as using my mom's ID. So there is just one student. So it shows assigned to one. And once I am done attempting the quiz and I hand it over, we'll be able to see. Also, we can go about seeing every individual student summary about how many things have been assigned and how many things have been submitted by them, and about what time and things like that. So if I want to review a particular student's assignment or status, progress report, anything, I could do that too. So I think, Mr. Amitabh, your question is answered. Okay, Mr. AD says, so several times the students turn in assignments, but they are blank. Okay, so Mr. AD, that is something that students at times do intentionally just to make sure that they are not late. So we need to keep a track of it by ensuring that they submit something that's relevant. So what you could do is, if you have seen that it's late, that they have submitted a blank assignment, you could ask them to send you a mail with the fulfilled document right away, and you can review it that way. Or you could simply ask the students to make sure that they don't do it again. But that's not something that is a Google Classroom's fault. So yeah. Okay, Mr. Ashok, is this seminar repeat going to be repeated? Uh, we are not really sure about if the same content is going to be repeated anytime soon, but we will definitely be coming out with a few more seminars on Google Classroom as well. Since I saw a lot of you wanted to know how we mark and to submit the assignment or return the students their assignments as well, we'll be covering that in our next seminar and a lot other things as well. So you could join us for that. We'll do a brief summary of the things we covered in this seminar as well. I think that could help you out. If you want to know in more details, you could obviously join our Facebook community and text us, any of the admins, be it Tanmay or me, and we'll definitely get back to you with some solution and make sure you have a good teaching experience. Ms. Shikha Jain wants to know how to check and return the assignment. We'll share this in the next seminar for sure. I had a problem in opening the classroom. Miss Vanisha, I would love if you could just describe it in a bit more detail what problem actually occurred so that I could help you out in a better fashion. Uh, I think with that, I'll close today's session. Okay, fine. I'll go about reading a few more questions. Please don't send in a bit more questions. I think it's already an extended session. If you have more questions, we'll be posting on our Facebook community group a feedback space or a feedback post. You could go about putting in your questions in that particular comment box, and we'll make sure that we get in touch with you. We provide you with your solutions as soon as possible on an individual basis, and I think we'll be able to help you out way better in that fashion. Since we have a time constraint right now, I think we'll be closing the session. So yeah, that's the basic thing. With that said, I'll be closing today's session. So, just a reminder once again, please follow the Facebook page and join in the group to keep getting updates of the seminar, of the upcoming seminars. And if you have any other problems, that's the best platform where you could communicate with us and get your solutions. We'll obviously be sharing a lot of other tips and tricks other than Google Classroom as well, through which you could make your classrooms way more engaging and your lives a lot easier while teaching online. So, yeah, I hope you had an informative hour and you had a good time, and the guidelines help you in your routine work. Thank you for joining and being so patient. Hope to see you soon. Stay safe, take care. Thank you.